Conversion of fractions and percentages. Convert the following fractions to percentages. Let's look at this guy, 17 over 100. So we need to make this into a percentage. Well, percentages are scores that you get, normally on a test, or maybe it's part of statistics and you're analyzing something. But the percentage is your value that you have out of a possible 100. So 17 out of 100 is actually already written in something that's very easy to convert, because your value here is 17 that you got out of 100. So this is 17%. Okay, so when it's over 100, then the numerator right away is the answer. If we look at 3 over 5, well, 5 is not 100. So an easy way to convert this fraction to a percentage is if we made the denominator 100. So if we multiply 5 by 20, we would have 100. And here, 3, to maintain 3 over 5, the same fraction, we'll multiply the numerator also by 20. So now you have 3 times 20, which is 60, over 5 times 20, which is 100. So now we have a value out of 100, and this is 60%. Okay, so 3 over 5 represents 60%. If you had a calculator, you could actually just divide 3 by 5, and it would give you 0.60. You multiply that by 100%, and you would have 60%. But we're assuming here there's no calculator. So let's do this one here, 3 over 4. If we multiply 4 by 25, we'll get 100. So we'll multiply the numerator by that as well. 3 times 25 is 75. 4 times 25, like we said, is 100. 75 is just score out of 100. So this right here is 75%. 3 over 4 is 75%. 8 cannot as easily be multiplied by a value to get 100. However, when you do more of these questions, it will be a little bit more obvious. For instance, here it's 4 times 25 to get 100. Well, 8 is double 4. So if I multiply that by half of the amount of 25, which is 12 and a half, or 12.5. 8 times 12.5 is actually 100. So it's not usual to set up a fraction. In fact, you should not do fractions with decimals, but just for the sake of looking at this, this is how we'll do it. So 8 times 12 and a half is 100. And 1 times 12 and a half is 12.5, 12 and a half. So that's the score out of 100. So this is 12.5%. And again, don't put your fractions like this when you're doing questions only with fractions. We're just doing that to illustrate the point for converting to percentages. Now let's convert these percentages to fractions. Okay, so as I said before, a percentage is just your score out of 100, your value out of 100. So 30%, that's your value out of 100. So you can write 30% as 30 over 100. And now you just need to simplify, because fractions need to always be simplified. So you could divide each of these by 10, and that would give you 3 out of 10. So 30% is the same as 3 out of 10. 45% is 45 out of 100. That's your score out of 100. We can divide each of these by 5, and that'll give us 9 in the numerator and 20 in the denominator. So 45% is the same as 9 over 20. 6%, that's 6 out of 100. They're both even. We divide by 2, we get 3 out of 50. 62.5% is a little bit more complicated. So 62.5 is the score out of 100. So we shouldn't have decimals when we're writing fractions. If we multiply each of these by 10, we're basically moving the decimal over 1 point, well, in both of them. And we can write that, and we'll have the same ratio. So that would be 625, and this one here would be 1,000. So 625 over 1,000 is the same as 62.5%. And now we can simplify this value here. So 625 divided by 5 is going to give us, what is that value going to be? 625 divided by 5, that's 125. And 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. And we can divide that also again by 5, right? So we divided each of these by 5. We can divide each of these by 5 again, and that'll bring us all the way down to 5 over 8. All right, so 62.5% is actually 5/8. It simplifies to a really nice small fraction. A football team is based on a squad of 20 players. In one season, 8 players are shown a red card. What percentage of the team is not shown a red card? Okay, so first of all, we have to figure out, all right, there's 20 players, 8 of them get a red card, so how many don't get a red card? All right, so that's 20 players in total, 8 that get a red card, 20 minus 8 leaves us with 12. So 12 players do not get a red card. So now we want to figure out the percentage of this, okay? So 12 of the 20. So 12 out of these 20, that's the fraction for how many did not get a red card. Now we need to convert this to a percentage. So if it's out of 100, life is easy, so let's make it out of 100. If we multiply 20 by 5, we'll have it over 100. So we'll do the same with the numerator. 12 times 5 is 60. 20 times 5, 100. 60 over 100, that's how we write our score. That's 60 over 100, 60%. So 60% of the players were not shown a red card.